Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I'm taking a look at another ROM hack, something I haven't done for a little while now, and the ROM that I'm looking at today is Tetris for the Game Boy. So this is the original mono Tetris, the one that came with Game Boys originally, and the hack I'm looking at is called the Rosy Retrospection hack, released in 2022, and I'm looking at version 1.2. So Rosy Retrospection, what does that mean? Well, even I had to look that up, and it means recalling the past more fondly than the present. It's remembering the good old days, but only remembering the good parts. So I'm not really sure what relevance that has to Tetris, because Tetris was great anyway, or maybe I am just remembering it good and not sort of looking at the downsides of it. So the Rosy Retrospection hack adds a lot of new features into classic Tetris. It brings it sort of more modern, more up to date. So there are 4 main things that I would class as additions that enhance the game. So you've got what we call a hard drop. So when you've got your piece where you want it, if you press the up key or the up button on the D-pad, it just slams the block into place. That's quite good. Then you've got a hold block. So if you've got this block coming down and you think, I really don't know where to put that, you can press the select key and it will sort of hold it. It will place it in a little holding box and bring another block. That's quite good. And then when you want to use the one that's in the holding block, you can press the select key and it sort of swaps them. I've used it a few times, but I don't know, maybe it's because I'm used to old school Tetris. I didn't use that very much. The other little addition you've got is in the right hand corner, it's got next 3 blocks. So I like the fact that when you're viewing your game, you can see, well, what block is about to come up next. And on the original Tetris, you only had 1. But with this Rosy Retrospection, you've got 3 blocks, so you can see the next 3 blocks that are coming down. And you can also preview the block that is on the screen as to where it's going to fit in your, well, lines at the bottom, which I quite like. So as the block is coming down, it's also sort of shadowed in the bottom of the screen on top of whatever blocks are there, so you can kind of gauge where it's going to fit. So if you move your block around, it puts it where it should be, and you can think, well, yeah, that's where I want it, and then you can hard drop it. Those sort of 3 main, maybe 4 main things are what make Rosy Retrospection an absolutely fantastic hack. And it just, when you think of Tetris, you think, well, it's simple, you can't make it any better, and then they add these things and you think, wow, this is great. Now I've been playing this hack for quite a few days now, and I went back to play the normal Tetris and I missed these new features. So it is great to see these additions into Tetris. I'm sure some of these features were brought into newer versions of Tetris, so perhaps, I don't know, Tetris DX or Tetris Worlds or whatever the new versions of Tetris that have been released since the Game Boy version. Maybe some of these features have been brought in, but it's nice to see them in the Game Boy version. And there are a lot of other new minor tweaks to this, but those are the main ones, and they're the ones that you're going to notice. The only other one that I think I saw and quite liked is that it clears the line faster. So once you've got a line across, it gets rid of that quicker than it would do in the normal Tetris. But other than that, it's your standard Tetris with a few, I say few, but they're really decent additions to your original Tetris. So as you can see, I am playing this now, and I'm using an emulator, but I've also played it on my DSi XL. If you had a flash cart for your Game Boy or like an EverDrive for your Game Boy Advance, you could play it on there. This is a ROM. You can play Game Boy games on just about any device, and I was using my laptop to emulate this. What a fantastic port, hack, whatever you want to call it, it is. So I'm going to leave you with some footage of me playing it, and this is now like the 3rd or 4th time I've played it today, and I think these additional features like the hard drop and the hold block and the next 3 block and the preview of the blocks, I think it just adds, it makes the game a little easier, because I'm getting very consistent high scores, well, high scores for me, that I wasn't getting on regular Tetris, unless it's just that I've been practicing, because I've done a lot of videos on Tetris in the last few weeks, and it shows. And the link to this Rosy Retrospection was actually sent to me by a viewer of my channel, so check it out. It's free, you can just download it somewhere. I'm not going to give a link to it. It's a Game Boy game, so it's very small, and then you can put it on whatever device you want to. You can, like I said, you can put it on a DS if you've got flash carts in it, or a DSi if you've got custom firmware, or a Vita or PSP. Anything will run Game Boy games, so check it out. It's Tetris Rosy Retrospection. I'm running version 1.2, and I think it's an absolutely blinding version of Tetris. Well, it's not a version of Tetris. I think it's an absolutely blinding ROM hack for the original Tetris, and yeah, it's superb. It's really brought Tetris up to date and added in some, I'm not going to say much needed new features, because everybody loves classic Tetris, but just some features that make it a little nicer to play. So there you go. Check it out. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.